Hey guys, what's up? My name is Eric and I'm the Techy Agent, and today we're taking a look not at one, but actually two new Suunto products, so stick with me through the intro. So today we're taking a look at the Suunto Spartan Trainer Wrist HR and its bigger brother, the Spartan Sport Wrist HR. Now these have a lot in common and some differences, so let's talk about it. So first of all, both of these are GPS watches designed to track things like hiking, jogging, cycling, triathlon sports, and both of them share the same GPS chip, which does connect to both GLONASS and American-based satellites. So you're going to get quick satellite acquisition, no more waiting around for your watch to connect to a satellite, and it's also going to be accurate. It's going to be able to track your distance within about a meter. Both the Trainer and the Sport have the same heart rate sensor, even though it has a different plastic casing for each watch. But this sensor is world-renowned for being extremely accurate. It is designed by Valencell, and both of these watches have this sensor for tracking both active and resting heart rate. Now here in a moment, I'll discuss the accuracy of this heart rate sensor that I experienced in terms of using it for both gym-based exercise and steady-state cardio. The Spartan Sport does have a touch screen that allows you to navigate the user interface. Now the user interface on both the Sport and the Trainer are virtually identical. The only difference is that the Sport has the touch screen, whereas the Trainer requires you to use a configuration of 5 different buttons in order to navigate the user interface. Now both watches come absolutely jam-packed with all kinds of different sports profiles, everything from gym-based exercise like circuit training and weight training to indoor cycling and even treadmill runs, to obviously the GPS-based tracking features, which would include skiing, hiking, running, cycling, and things like that. Now, at the time of the release of this video, Suunto has only preloaded 6 watch faces on each of these watches. And that means you're going to be very limited. There's no word if Suunto is going to release additional watch faces or not, but for the time being, you are limited to the 6 that they include. Both of these watches are rated for water resistance. The Suunto Sport is rated for up to 100 meters of water resistance, and the Suunto Spartan Trainer is rated for up to 50 meters. Now, in terms of size comparison, it's not even close. The Sport is significantly bigger and heavier than the Trainer. On the wrist, it's hard to forget that it's there, and it does protrude off of the wrist enough where if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. That being said, the looks of the Sport are a little bit more versatile than the Trainer. You could wear it in both formal and casual settings, and it would not look out of place. In terms of size comparison, it's about the same size as the Garmin Fenix 5X, if not a little bit thicker. So the Suunto Spartan Sport Wrist HR is definitely a behemoth of a watch, but surprisingly, it's only slightly thicker than the Suunto Trainer. Now, the Trainer definitely has a smaller footprint and it's a lot lighter than the Sport, and so it does not feel as heavy on the wrist. It actually feels significantly more comfortable. But the Trainer definitely has a casual look compared to the Sport, so this probably isn't something that you would want to wear in formal contexts. So let's do a quick overview about what both of these watches have in common and their differences before we look at the actual results. So what they both have are smart notifications, which include call, text, email, and app alerts. They both also track all-day calories and steps and resting and active heart rate. They also both pair with an external Bluetooth heart rate sensor if you want to do that. They both also have GPS and use multiple sports profiles to track exercise. Now, in terms of notable differences, there aren't really that many. The big difference is that the Trainer, the smaller one, has sleep and all-day distance information. You don't get that information on the Sport, whereas the Sport does have additional navigation features via the compass for heading information, and that's something that the smaller Trainer does not have. And obviously, then there's a price point difference as well. Now, neither one of these have a barometric altimeter. Altitude is estimated using GPS data for both of these. Also, both of these do not have music controls. That's something that's worth noting. And neither one of these have ANT+ compatibility with external heart rate sensors or foot pods. So I did take both of these devices, running and cycling, and the interface that's used for running and cycling is fantastic. I really like it. It's easy to start a workout, and then you can actually automatically manually do lap information by pushing a button on the bottom of each device. If you don't push the lap information, it will automatically calculate lap information based on kilometers or miles for you. You can also start and pause a workout using the top button, and then the middle button on each device will scroll through the different metrics that it's collecting actively during your actual workout, and you can just push that button to scroll through the various menus while you're working out, while you're running, while you're cycling, to see the relevant data in real time. One of the cool features is that after you do a GPS-based workout, you'll get kind of this animated brag video that shows your route information over top of this just basically GPS animation, and it's kind of a neat little brag video that you can then share on social media. Now, in terms of tracking my heart rate and distance, it was extremely accurate for running. I was very impressed with the Valencell heart rate sensor that was on this. It was able to track my heart rate information quickly and accurately, and I really can't say enough good about it. So I'll go ahead and share a couple of screens that show you some of the data that's collected after the workout that you can review on the app. You'll get your beats per minute, your calories, your recovery time. You'll get your average speed, your average cadence. You'll get your ascent and descent information. You'll also get some cool graphs that show your pace, speed, heart rate, cadence, and all of those kinds of things. So both of these offer an enormous wealth of information and data that you can glean from your workout and that you can go review after the fact. And it was all really helpful, and I felt it was all very accurate for running. Now with cycling, I did run into a couple of issues. With cycling, I found that I had to ratchet the watch down a little bit tighter than I normally do because the vibrations from my bike were keeping the heart rate sensor from being accurate. So all of the other sensors while cycling performed well. It was just the vibrations of my bike created some inaccuracies in my heart rate data, as you can see on screen now. Now, once I took care of that issue by making sure that the watches were tight against my wrist and made sure that they were strapped down tight, I didn't have any ongoing issues from that point on. Now, in terms of tracking strength training or weightlifting exercises, the heart rate sensors definitely were able to track and keep up. I noticed, however, on the Suunto Spartan Sport, the larger device, that the heart rate tracking for gym-based exercise seemed to be a little bit faster than the trainer. So the trainer would take a solid 40 to 50 seconds in order to catch up after an exercise, whereas the Suunto Spartan Sport would capture the heart rate information within about 20 to 25 seconds after an exercise. So you'll see here it's showing on my wrist 165 beats per minute with the Sport, but the trainer is still catching up, showing about 86, 80, 89, 90 and climbing. So it definitely took the trainer a lot longer to catch up to my active heart rate than the Suunto Spartan Sport did. Now, in terms of tracking heart rate for circuit training or CrossFit style training or high intensity interval training like what you're seeing here on screen, the heart rate sensors on both of these did surprisingly well. Again, there was a little bit of a latency effect, probably about 20-25 seconds for both watches, but I was very impressed with seeing both of them able to keep up at these high heart rates. So what I found with all of these exercises is that the heart rate sensor does remarkably well, but you need to make sure that it's definitely tight. This is definitely a sensitive sensor, and it does remarkably well tracking your heart rate as long as you make sure that it's tight against your wrist. So my assessment is that both of these watches are very capable GPS watches. They have a great GPS chip on board, and they have a really good heart rate sensor. Now, they do skimp on some features like not having music controls or not having a barometric altimeter and not having compatibility with A&T Plus sensors. Now, in terms of what Garmin is offering, yes, the Garmin counterparts do offer more features, but these are cheaper. I mean, you're getting in at the Suunto Spartan Trainer for only $279 and the Spartan Sport for $499. That's a lot cheaper than the Garmin counterparts, and so if you're willing to sacrifice a few features, these are definitely a good bargain buy. So I'm going to put some purchase links in the description below where you can pick both of these devices up from either Amazon.com or clevertraining.com. And thanks for watching. My name is Eric, and I'm the Techy Agent. We'll catch you next time.